Good morning, Munising. Casey Ford here from Gallery Coffee Company inside the Jamadot Studios for Coffee with Casey on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, also at WQXO.com, SoundCloud, Spotify. You laugh, but seriously, we have seven different outlets you can listen to us at SoundCloud, Spotify. We're on the Facebook Live page, and we're also on YouTube. So no matter where you're listening to us, thank you for listening to us right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. So many things I want to get to today. We're going to talk about National Radio Day. We're going to talk about the Marquette Monthly that's back. Super pumped about that because, you know, having journalism and papers and things like that in our area is an important thing. And when I say our area, I'm talking about regionally because you see papers that disappear and you're bringing them back kind of deal. We're also going to talk to Bill Valima, superintendent of Superior Central Schools, as their return to learn happens very shortly. They go back to 31st. So it's interesting to see the dynamics here because they start before Labor Day. Munising starts after Labor Day. We'll talk a little about that. And obviously we have masks that may not be worn. So far, everyone has said it's a recommendation, not required. And I think that's very important. We'll talk to Bill Valima about that. Feel free to chime in. You can do that by going to the Rome Media Facebook page, and we'll read your comments on air. And if you have any comments for Jane Hutchins or James Larsen, we'll get to those as well. But this is the second straight week we've actually started off with guests on our show, and I'm super excited about this because that way we can go long as short as we want, which is awesome. But Jane Hutchins and Jane Hutchins and James Larsen, I'll get that right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Munising. Thank you for coming down on the hottest day of the year. And the Marquette Monthly. And I knew people that worked for the Marquette Monthly beforehand. Nice. Talk about this. What made you go into this endeavor of bringing the Marquette Monthly back?
Well, I worked there from 2015 on, and I was a reader prior to that when I worked at the newspaper. And I have never worked somewhere that has had more positive response than at Marquette Monthly. And I would work there when we shut down due to the COVID furlough.
Yep.
And I don't believe that it was going to reopen. And when there was somebody else that was looking at it, and that ended up not being the case. So I called my former boss who used to own it. And I just asked if she'd be interested in selling to me. And she had tried to sell to me before, and I was just never wanting to own a business at this stage of my life.
I think it's called apprehensive.
Well, yeah, I'm not a young person, and I'm like trying to do the wind down thing. But I just knew this was good, and I had always had James pegged as my replacement at some point because he takes care of accounts the way I would want them to be taken care of. He builds relationships. He actually gives them ideas. So I picked up the phone and said, James, I have an idea, and I think we should do this. And
let me talk about that real quick because it's important to go into business with someone that you trust.
Yes.
I guess. How did you guys meet? You guys work together. So how did this relationship build? I guess talk about your networking skills and what you bring to the table. How did all this come together? Because obviously trust is a huge thing when it comes to this business.
Well, absolutely, Casey. I met Jane when I was a 20-year-old college student, actually, working at the newspaper. And
when you say the newspaper, are we talking Mining Journal, the
Yes.
Northwind? Okay.
The Mining Journal.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was doing an internship there, and I know they kind of had me pegged when I graduated to get into sales and so forth. And so Jane offered to take me out and kind of show me what it was like. And, you know, that was 17 years ago. And that's how I met Jane. And we worked together for quite a while. And really the funny thing was the month before, my wife said, you know, you and Jane, you guys get along so good. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could do something with Jane? And literally the next month, Jane calls and says, I have this idea. So I I'm listening.
When it works, it works. And I've had that with a couple different broadcasting partners when I started off in Grand Rapids. And like I said, we'll talk about National Radio Day later on in the show. But when something clicks, you run with it. And like I said, trust is a huge issue, especially in this industry and in radio, especially in I would say the lower peninsula, but it's also like California, Florida. Like you don't take days off because you could be replaced kind of deal.
Oh.
That's why I said radio and trust issue kind of deal, but it's important to have that camaraderie. Now, Jane, I know you said you've listened to me in the past and things like that, and this is completely different than what you used to listen to me for in the Marquette area. So you say you're winding down. You want to retire. What kind of emotions, and I guess when I still talk about radio, I get like goosebumps. Like I always say it's one of those drugs you can't kick. Radio, like once you get, and I have to assume it's like the paper too. Like you just get that adrenaline, you get the goosebumps, you get the knots in your stomach, the butterflies. What's that like when you decide to take on this endeavor and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this now. What are those butterflies like? Do you get sick to your stomach? I mean, because I'm a big guy of, you know what, taking that leap.
Yep.
You're taking a leap here.
Yeah. It's interesting because I have learned to listen to my gut. And when I made the transition, because I was at the newspaper for 24 years and I never really thought about leaving. I love my job and I love my customers. There were things internally that I wasn't as much of a fan of, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And then this Marquette Monthly job came along and I just knew in my gut it was right. I just knew it. I knew what I could do. And I knew what my job was going to be. It was going to be the same job with less stress. We're talking about a monthly deadline, right? Versus
to like
a daily.
right.
But this particular opportunity, I know it will work. I know how I knew how much people loved it. I'm even still surprised though at the reaction we're getting, and I knew it was going to be positive. And I have not, even through all the startup and technology and employees and all the stuff that you're working with that you didn't have to deal with before, the tax stuff and the bookkeeping and all that, I have not lost an ounce of sleep over this.
That's awesome.
Not once.
That is awesome. Jane Hutchins, James Larsen joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO in the Gallery Coffee Company from the Jam at Dots studio. So you talk about your staff. How many people are employed at Marquette Monthly? What does it take to put a paper out? And I guess talk about some of the stories, because you talked about it between monthly and daily. You can kind of pick and choose what stories and you can see what's going on. So let's first talk about your staff. How many people are employed with Marquette Monthly?
7 part-time people.
Okay.
And then James and I.
Okay.
And 3 of those people are actually rotating editors. And I can let James elaborate more on that. But what I can tell you is that we are so blessed with really good people that want to be a part of a positive team, that put their whole heart and soul in it. They all have other jobs full time, but they love doing this. And I walked away the other day, somebody was commenting, it was a complete stranger, and they overheard me talking with someone else about the Marquette Monthly, and they found out that I was reopening it, and they came to sing the praises. Literally, they were clapping and cheering, to be honest with you. And I walked away from there and I said, what did you do to deserve this? And then I just started thinking that it's not, Marquette Monthly is not myself. It is not James. It is not just the 2 of us. It is an amazing team of people that all care and want to put this product out into the community. And that's truly, we are so lucky because they are all coming back.
James, she's mentioned rotating editor. What does that mean?
So we're very fortunate in that the last 3 editors of the Marquette Monthly are all coming back. Now, they're gonna do, like, we have Jackie Stark will be doing this first issue. Joe Zibble will be doing the next one, and Christy Basolo Malmstead will be doing the next one. And those are the last 3 editors of the Marquette Monthly. And it's just a way for them to be able to do it, to be excited about it, and to really keep it fresh, and recharge your batteries for a couple months and come back and do another issue. They do all have other jobs and family commitments and different things. So it's a way to make it work for their life, but still have that platform, to be creative. And it's really going to be a better product because of that.
This portion of Coffee with Casey brought to you in part by Ashley Home Store. The Jensen family is proud to own and operate Ashley Home Stores in Marquette and Escanaba. More than just a furniture store, they have experienced design team to help you and the largest display of accessories in the Upper Peninsula. Stop into either store soon and be inspired by what you see. Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. James, Jane, I don't know which one of you wants to answer this. Obviously, you have a passion to be journalists and make sure a paper is getting out. What do you think of, or what do you hear when you hear people talk about, oh, newspaper's dead, nobody's buying those, nobody reads those anymore? What goes through your mind when you hear a statement like that? Because I know it's happened quite a bit.
We break all the rules. We literally are in the exact opposite situation. We are concerned. We don't obviously want to have any waste, so we picked a certain number that we think will be sufficient to go to all the same locations, over 200 locations in the central UP. But we are concerned that some of those places will run out quickly. People love it and they want to hang on to it.
Well, I want to see
hands.
this real quick. All right, Angus, I don't know if you want to go to me real quick on this close up, but look how thick. I'm trying to get the correct. Look how thick this paper is. This is bigger, like a lot bigger than what people are used to. Honestly, when I was growing up, like a Sunday newspaper was about that thick, maybe give or take a couple of pages, but or like a Saturday morning newspaper, like where it actually had high school football scores, things like that. Like that's what you're used to when it comes to a thick paper. So how do you guys pick your stories? I know you guys probably have like a calendar that you probably have like a dartboard saying you do this, you do that, but you obviously with a monthly, it's important to talk about stories ahead of time, but you also recap stories that took place. So what are you guys throwing darts at when you guys release this one?
It's actually an interesting concept because the editors and of course us, and James has some great ideas regarding sports, but everybody can suggest ideas, including the writers. We're always open to ideas because there's a lot of good stories to be told about the Central UP. But then what the editor will do is he or she has a whole list of our writers, and they will send an email out to all of them stating the story ideas, and then they have the opportunity to say, I want to do that story. So when somebody picks up a story and writes it, it's because they really are interested in doing that story.
That's awesome.
So that shows through in the content then too, and then we have the regulars like the back then Larry Shabbat. He does a historical article every month, and we have Catherine Larson who writes At the Table, and Scott Stewart who does outdoors, and on. There's more. Trust me, there's more. But I don't want to bore you with the whole list right now.
Who does all the proofreading?
We actually have a proofreader, don't we, Jane?
Yes, we do.
How many? Well, before you see who that is, how many pages is this one right here?
88.
So you have someone proofreading.
Yep.
At least 88 pages.
Yes.
Okay. So talk about that, and who's your proofreader? Go ahead.
Our proofreader is Laura Kagi. We've had a few throughout the years. It's a tough job, and I envy the talent because they have to be really on their game. But the people that do it, including Laura, she loves to do that type of work. And what's nice is it allows for the flexibility. As long as you do it, we don't care what hour of the day or when you do it. And
it's a nice working schedule.
Yeah. So we are going through some transitions because we are now remote.
Okay.
So it used to be we had physical folders and slots, and there was a certain system with the proofer. Like she'd take a look and either put it in the corrections or in mine. But we're trying to do that all online now. And we just were talking last night about how she's marking up things on the online documents. And we knew this. We knew this going in, that there would be some moments of, ooh, this
Right.
is new to us, but it's going to work. And she confirmed that last night. She goes, this is going to work out well. And, but yeah, every article that goes in and the ads, she takes a look at them all. And I brag about that because people talk about the quality of Marquette Monthly. Well, that's a huge part of it.
Jane Hutchins, James Larsen joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Also SoundCloud, Spotify, WQXO.com. What else? YouTube. I should honestly have a list right here of everything that we do. But Marquette monthly publication. Do you guys come out the first of the month, like the 15th of the month? What is the deadline to submitting stories? And then obviously getting it to print, because I know that can be an issue at times. So go through all of that of when it comes out and getting it to print and getting it on the shelves.
Sure. So we always like to have it out around the first of the month. As far as deadlines, typically like advertising deadline would be the middle of the month. Editorial would be more towards the front of the month there. But it is quite the process, and you're basically it's a small book you're putting together every month.
Right.
So it does take everybody, and but like Jane said, it's we're doing stuff at 11 at night. We're doing stuff when we have time, and you just make it work.
Talk about advertising now. You show the fans. I'll go to camera 2 real quick, Angus. Yep. Show the cover page of this, and James could probably show his too. Like the very first cover page. If someone wants to advertise and be on the front page, everybody talks about front page material. Can you do that? No. Okay. It's just you guys.
The front.
Because I think like New York Times, New York Post, like you want front page, back page.
Because the front page of our magazine every time is a print done by a local artist. And we have artists in the Copper Country, artists in Delta County, Alger County, Marquette County. And it's an opportunity to showcase the talents of the arts in our community. So there's never going to be an ad on the front page.
I knew that answer, but I wanted to explain it because
right.
You want to be on the front page of a paper.
Right.
You want to be on a back page because those are the two most viewed things.
Right.
And that stands out tremendously. I love the color, by the way.
Thank you. The one thing I will say about our advertisers, and both James and I agree, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that before we came in here. Marquette Monthly is only possible because of the advertisers. Everybody asks, how can you give it away for free? Because it's free to anybody that wants to pick it up. Truly, the only revenue source we have is the advertising. So basically, it really is a community newspaper. And we're proud of that because we have local writers, local artists, local topics, and local advertisers.
I used to get mine at Togo's. I know you guys have a lot of businesses, but throughout Marquette, can you get this in Alger County?
Yes.
Okay, do you know some of the places you can get it without trying to forget any?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna forget, so apologize in advance. But like we have them at the Falling Rock Cafe, we have them at the visitor center, the laundromat. Honestly, we're gonna have a list online on our new website that's going to be easy for us to update because we're going to be adding locations. We've already added a few just from conversations with people, but there's over 9 or 10 locations just in Munising that we have them available, and it's all going to be on there. And I know I'm going to forget, so just know there's like 10 places.
What's the new website? You said you have a new website. What's the
MarquetteMonthly.com.
Easy enough to remember.
Yep.
Anything else you want to address before we get you out of here?
For me, I guess I just like to say thank you. I mean, going through the process of, should I buy this with Jane, the whole thing. I've just been blown away by the quality of the staff. And then, once we made the leap, just the enthusiasm from the community and the support of our advertisers. And it's just, there's so many people to thank, and it's just awesome. And just the quality of people out there, the artists, the contributors, the freelancers, wanting to see this work. It's just kind of all I can say is thank you. It's It's been awesome.
And it's always important to love what you do. And that's why I'm super excited to be back on air. I know that's why you guys are super excited to bring back the Marquette Monthly. If you just do what you love, you'll be a lot happier. Are there some stresses from time to time? Of course. Every job has a stress. It's never going to be 365 days of perfection. It just can't happen. But I'm super excited that you guys are back doing what you guys love to do and giving the people of Marquette, Munising, Delta County, like a chance to read what you guys have done. And I think it's awesome. So if they want to get a hold of you for advertising, how do they do that?
James at MarquetteMonthly.com, Jane at MarquetteMonthly.com. And also on our Facebook page, our numbers are listed there, and they will be on our website. Our website hasn't went live yet.
Okay.
We're working on that.
Okay. Well, it all takes time.
Yeah. So it will be live. And so, yeah, you can contact either of us. Go on our Facebook page, get all the contact information. There's a phone number. You can just Google us and see the phone number as well. So,
all right. Jane Hutchins, James Larsen, Marquette Monthly. You can get your copy now. What is today? I don't even know today's date, the 19th. So the new one should be out around the Labor Day, before Labor Day?
It's going to be out on September 1st.
Okay, we'll
in
be
Marquette, and by the 3rd in the outlying areas.
Right, which I
it
said
takes 3 days to deliver them all.
Yes, it does.
But people are patient and they wait those extra 2 days. Yeah.
All right, get yourself a copy of the Marquette Monthly. We're going to take this quick time out. When we come back, we're going to talk about National Radio Day and how I am celebrating an anniversary. We still got Bill Valima, Superintendent of Superior Central Schools, on tap. You are watching Coffee with Casey on YouTube and on Facebook Live, listening on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, SoundCloud, Spotify, and at WQXO.com. We'll take this quick time out, come back right after this. You are listening and watching to Coffee with Casey.
Alger County Communities That Care is a local organization that offers preventative programming addressing teen pregnancy, violence, delinquency, school dropout, substance abuse, depression, and suicide. We are looking for members in our community to help with many of these programs and fundraisers we offer. If you would like to get involved, please contact us at algerctc.org. Alger County United and Thriving, promoting a safe, healthy, and prosperous environment for all youth and adults.
Are you looking for an afternoon of family fun? How about a change to your date night routine? Come to Miners Falls Mini Golf to experience the fun for yourself. Explore the waterfalls and rivers while enjoying 18 holes of miniature golf. Find our latest flavors of chocolate shop ice cream by visiting our Facebook page. Open at noon daily. Visit Miners Falls Mini Golf off of M28, 2 miles east of Munising, or call 387-4653.
Hutchins Health Mart welcomes you. Your hometown pharmacy is always here for you. Customer service comes first in all we do. You're gonna find that we love serving you at Hutchins Health Mart. Service is still our best medicine.
Hutchins Health Mart has been a trusted source to handle your prescriptions for over 80 years. They're always ready to help in a personal way with their experienced and well-trained pharmacy staff. Family-owned and operated. Just people serving people. 119 Elm Avenue in beautiful downtown Munising, with convenient parking at the front or rear entrance.
At Hutchins Health Mart, service is still our best medicine.
Right now at Ashley Home Store for 1 week only. Enjoy huge savings store-wide on our wide selection of styles. Save on living rooms, dining rooms, and bedrooms. And save on our brand new styles too. Shop can't-miss clearance items, mattresses, accessories, and so much more at unbeatable prices. Plus incredible special financing offers. It's store-wide savings like never before. Going on now. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home. Shop now at ashleyhomestore.com.
Feels good to be home.
Back on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO from the Jamma Dots Studios inside Gallery Coffee Company. This portion of Coffee with Casey brought to you in part by Van Landshoots and Sons. And if you haven't had their smoked white fish or their sausage or their dips, you are really missing out. Next week, it's our hope, and I have them 99% confirmed that Gabrielle Trader or Gabe Trader will be joining us to show you some of the fish sausage and the dips and some of the things that Van Landshoots and Sons offer. I'm super excited about that because you just don't get that without some of the food that goes into your body. But Bryce, I know you're joining me here for the second part of the show, or second segment of the show, and it's National Radio Day. And I know you haven't done as much radio as what I've done. You've done more podcasting. You have been on radio stations in Marquette. You've done this show quite a few times. But National Radio Day to me, 21 years I've been doing this. And I got my start when I was 18 years old. And all I was doing, and I know you guys can't see him or anything right now, Angus Horn is up in our broadcasting booth. And Angus started off doing like what I was doing. And all it is it's called learning the ropes. And you press buttons and you make sure people like Charlie Niebel and Cameron Niebel get on air. Or if you're doing like a Michigan State broadcast, making sure you're looking and listening for local cues, things like that. So I got my start at a station in Grand Rapids when I was 18 years old. I moved to Michigan and was on their radio station. I don't know if I'm allowed legally. I don't really care. I've done it in the past to say the call letters of these other stations, but I have worked for other stations.
It is a fact. I mean,
right. I have worked there.
So the truth allows you to do that. There's no aspect of like trying to hide where somebody has come from. Because like, I mean, if you, like,
and I'm not talking bad about them.
Yeah. Cause I can say like flat out, like, while you were on ESPN Marquette, I really didn't do a whole lot of work with you. But when Ryan Marine was on ESPN Marquette, I would guest co-host on Mondays, and I would do the weird sports stuff with Bryce segment at the end to kind of just keep things going along, you know, to fill time and stuff. But yeah, because that's a fact, it's verifiable.
Okay. So I worked for
a great thing. Yeah.
So back in the day, I'm so old. In Grand Rapids, I got my start at AM 1340 WBBL. And then after I started doing some television stuff and things of that nature, I left WBBL to kind of do my own thing and my weekly sports shows. And I was on throughout Grand Rapids and Lowell and Holland and Saugatuck, things like that. Hamilton. I used to say from the Lakeshore to Lowell, you're watching my TV show. I was on WTKA in Ann Arbor, and I was the voice of Michigan women's basketball there, 07, 08, Cheryl Burnett years. And then they moved into what was the guy that had the rant that used to be the coach of Wisconsin Green Bay. And then he left to be Michigan coach, and they went back to Wisconsin Green Bay. He's a Tech coach too. Oh my gosh, can't think of his name for the life of me. And it doesn't matter. And then worked at WZAM and WQXO WMQT in Marquette, WQXO here in Munising. I was just talking with Jane Hutchins and James Larsen about, on the first segment, how radio still excites you. It's like the drug that you can't get out of your body. Like you get the goosebumps, like you get the nervousness. Like when we get ready for a big interview with, you know, whether it's an athlete or a Jeff Blashill or a Dave Lorenz, I mean, even Bill Valima, because you don't really know what they're going to say. Each person is unique, and I get excited when I get to talk to guests and see what they have to say. That's what I love about radio. You get a chance to tell your story, but here at Rome, we're not just radio. We do the Facebook Live. We do YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify. Obviously, we got WQXO.com. But we have a lot of different platforms, and that's because you see the evolution of media. it's not just radio anymore. And we appreciate everybody that does listen to us, but it's not just radio anymore. You have other avenues with television or YouTube or social media. And that's what excites me. Now, Bryce, you talked about WZAM, but you've also done podcasts. I've done podcasts. I've been on other radio shows in Chicago and in Detroit and in Green Bay when it comes to talking about the Lions. What are some of the things that you've done on this National Radio Day?
Hosted an arena football and indoor football league show that was nationally syndicated. A lot of people don't know this, but I was really big in indoor football. We discussed that on the show, but people didn't really know the extent of what the show was when I covered it. So when we did AFN Talk, which is what it was, Arena Football News Talk, because it was kind of sponsored by one of the groups that did the blogging and writing and stuff like that. So that was based out of Brooklyn, New York. It was broadcasted on 16 stations. Usually they were like independent, independent AM stations or internet only stations. So it was nice because I had time slots on the 4 most listened to internet radio stations that are purely internet radio stations. So actually my listenership on that was larger than our listenership on Coffee with Casey. Whoops. But
thanks for coming on, Bryce.
Yeah, happy to be here. But no, that was good. And then when I moved here with the Munising News, when that was still going on, I just couldn't do both. I was getting some stuff. I was getting some swag from the teams and, tickets, and they'd help with my airfare and stuff to go down to cover the NAL championship game. Also, congratulations to the Albany Empire who won over the weekend, the NAL championship game over Columbus. So, congratulations to them. But, it wasn't paying the bills. And the Munising News really wasn't paying the bills either because they were notoriously bad at pay. But, that was actually a job. And, I was getting a paycheck that way. So I had to kind of give that up to come do this and be the reporter for Alger County kind of deal. So I've done that. I've had a chance to do a number of hybrid type stuff with calling things that are on mixed media, which is why this approach here with Rome Media has been so easy to get into. Now I just actually get all the equipment. I don't have to put together 19 random cords that I found where you have some of the equipment that I've used in the past for radio broadcasts have been the stuff that you use to set up home surround sound systems. And those cords
slice and dice.
Yeah. I've literally had to heat wrap wires in a rink before, minutes before a broadcast, just so that way it would be technically sound. And so there's a reason why I'm going to Grand Marais later today to make sure all the equipment works.
and let's talk about that because we do have a lot of broadcasts that we plan on doing. I know you've been traveling and you were down at another school yesterday making sure our broadcasts would work, but we are covering 9 Munising football games, 7 Superior Central football games. We're doing roughly around 6 or more volleyball games between the 2 schools plus the districts. And then we plan on doing some soccer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna risk something. This is gonna be something that we've never done before in honor of radio. So Angus is paying attention upstairs, and so I've joined the stream. So this is gonna be video only for the majority of this stuff. But as I add the screen and it pops me in and everything else like that, it does allow me to hit the share screen button. Maybe there we go.
Okay.
And so
what am I looking at?
I'm gonna hit the share screen.
Okay.
Eventually, as it pops up, because this is how it should be working.
And this is called dead air for
So what it is that I pulled up the shared screen, and this is what our schedule is. It should be there.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. So there's our full sports broadcasting schedule. As of right now, there are a number of games going on. We've got a flex game just because unless we get more sponsors. no offense to Munising Baptist by any means. We want to cover them because they win. They haven't lost a game in like 2 years. So, like, I mean, it's time that we kind of push the envelope and make sure that everybody's getting that representation. But you can kind of see here, you do have that flex game either October 4th or October 7th. We'll either cover Ojibwe or Grand Marais. That also might be because Grand Marais is restarting their sports. So up here, we will have their first game returning after their COVID cancellation from last year on Thursday, September 16th. And I will go up there today to make sure that we can broadcast that game, which will be huge. We've got some Facebook-only games. We're going to be doing some things as I get out of the stop here and revert back to Angus's control. We'll be doing a lot of things with Facebook integration, where we can do audio feeds with a static graphic over the top. We can try to experiment a little bit with that kind of stuff. MHSA regulations are confusing, but they're not impossible. It just takes a lot of work with other people to try to make like the video work or the audio streaming work. But, as we talk about National Radio Day, how we do radio in the UP is going to be completely different than what they're doing in Lansing. And because of that, there's got to be some different creativity that's got to be used. And we can use the Munising Baptist games. We can use the volleyball games as we're picking up, I believe, a 9-game volleyball schedule between Munising Baptist, and Superior Central. That will help out a ton, and we can kind of experiment a little bit to see how that goes along. And I think that's important for us because it shows that Rome Media wants to be a leader, not only in the UP, but in the state when dealing with these kind of efforts. As as people tell us that these industries are dying, no, these industries are not dying. These industries have to adapt.
Correct.
They have to evolve, and we're here to kind of push that button a little
Reimagined.
bit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I do want to get this as we're going to get you off here real soon, and then Bill Valima is going to come on. Tuesday's broadcast, we have Gwynn versus Superior Central, volleyball in Superior Central. Next Friday, we have Munising football as they have their first home game of the year. Really tough schedule for Munising the first 2 weeks. And then we'll have Superior Central on Saturday on our airwaves. And then we get into Labor Day where Superior Central plays on Thursday for football, and Munising plays on Friday for football.
And we have a volleyball game in between there too. And so we were trying to figure that out. One of the other reasons why we're trying to get everything lined up is so that way we have an even amount of volleyball games between Superior Central and Munising. And there's a thought that Munising opponent is not going to be very good, so why put them on the radio? Right. It's not Ontonagon, so I know that they won't be paying attention. We don't get a lot of positive listens from that area with that school. So, it's.
Anyways,
see, this is now you're feeling about how I feel like half the times when you say stuff on the radio.
Okay. We seriously thank you for coming on. We're going to talk more about National Radio Day. We're going to be on Twitter and on Facebook, things like that. But we're going to take this time out. When we come back, we're going to have Bill Valima, superintendent of Superior Central Schools, on, and we're going to talk about Return to Learn. You are listening and watching Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, Munising. Get yourself the freshest whitefish from the cleanest lake in the world with Van Landshoots & Sons Fish Market. With over 108 years of experience, Van Landshoots & Sons Fish Market offers whitefish, smoked fish, Van Landshoots' famous fish dip, homemade fish sausage, lobster tails, clams, and perch. You can even ship the fish as a gift. 20 pounds required. Visit vsifish.com or call Van Landshoots & Sons Fish Market, 387-3851.
Tracy's Restaurant inside Rome Inn in Munising is now open 6 nights a week. Come try our new approach to dining, a small plates culinary journey you won't forget. Enjoy small plates from cheese curds to baby wedge salads to large entrees like surf and turf for two, a collection of quality beef, lobster, shrimp, and bluegill. And top off your experience with our large selection of wine, premium whiskey, and new tap featuring local craft beer. Open Monday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Call 387-8000 for reservations.
Need breakfast in a pinch? A sweet treat to help you continue through the day? What about a technically correct way to tell others you're eating your vegetables? Whatever your reason, Gallery Coffee's new selection of pastries are now available. Enjoy muffins, eclairs, fritters, and even zucchini bread, all pairing well with your favorite hot coffee or iced drink. Check out your new selection of pastries now at Gallery Coffee Company, located on the corner of Elm and Superior in downtown Munising.
Hey, did you get the new chicken Uber pasty from Miner's Pasties yet?
No, I didn't. Does it have the taters?
Yep,
Does it have the rutabaga?
of course.
Does it have the onions and the carrots?
Yep, those two. It's a true Uber pasty from Miner's with all the right fillings and that perfect flaky crust.
That sounds great. How do I get one?
The same as always down at Miner's Pasties, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 201 West Munising Avenue in Munising.
This is the Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba Munising Minute, powered by Rome Media. A Sands Township man has been charged with more than a dozen felonies on the allegations that he defrauded clients of over $1,200,000. The alleged victims came from Marquette, Alger, and Delta counties. 30-year-old Clint Miller was charged with 7 counts of larceny by conversion of over $20,000, 7 counts of fraudulent use of contractor funds, and 1 count of conducting a criminal enterprise after accepting prepayment for contractor work and then closing the business down. The case has been recognized by law enforcement across the state, with even Attorney General Dana Nessel commenting on the charges. The majority of the action will happen in Marquette County courts, as roughly 77% of the alleged defrauded money occurred in that jurisdiction. Miller was released on bond after his arraignment and will be back in court for a preliminary exam on September 7th. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and a number of business leaders in the Central Upper Peninsula attended the groundbreaking ceremony for the Superior Extrusion expansion yesterday on K.I. Sawyer. The $20 million expansion will add another press to the aluminum extruding company that helps make the aluminum parts for boats, ladders, bike racks, ambulances, and more. Superior Extrusion is one of the businesses in the K.I. Sawyer Industrial Park that relies on workers traveling from North Delta and Western Alger counties to round out its workforce. The expansion will push the total amount of employees to over 200. The Munising Minute is brought to you by Ashley Home Store in Marquette and Escanaba. The Jensen family is proud to own and operate the Ashley Home Stores in Marquette and Escanaba. More than just a furniture store, they have an experienced design team to help you, and the largest display of accessories in the Upper Peninsula. Stop into either store soon and be inspired by what you see. For Rome Media, I am Bryce Burge.
Back on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. Also on our Rome Media Facebook page, on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and at WQXO.com. We bring in one of my favorite guests that we talk more than what people actually realize. Bill Valima, Superintendent of Superior Central Schools, joins us as they get back to return to learn as we sit here on the 20th today. Hopefully that's still the case when you guys start school. But how different has it been? Obviously, this summer, last summer, I would say less stressful, but then you're starting to see things go kind of the way they have been last year. So first and foremost, welcome back to Coffee with Casey.
Thank you.
Brand new set, brand new Bill. You look rejuvenated. You look happy. You don't have the lines as much under. It doesn't look like you have a lot of stress in your life right now, Bill.
That's not true, Casey. That's not true at all. But,
well, you have
thanks
children.
for noticing.
Speaking of children,
yeah.
Do your children get excited when they know you're going to do like some kind of radio interview or you're going to be on TV?
No.
Why?
I don't. Because they hear
you're
their dad
you're
talk
like
all
the coolest
time.
now.
They hear their dad all the time.
Okay.
It's not that.
Well, I do want to say hello to my youngest daughter, Annie, who's 1, Jones, who's 4, and Sullivan, who's 9. I know they are listening this morning. So good morning, guys. Thank you for listening to your dad on the radio. Right. I think they think I'm the coolest. I know my 12-year-old doesn't think I'm the coolest, but
yeah, my older kids don't. My younger kids probably still think I'm pretty cool. Like, I'm not sure. Ezra's 7. He might be tuning in, especially because we're on YouTube, right? So he's probably found us.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you like Dude Perfect or Mr. Big or whatever it is?
Yeah, we watch a lot of Dude Perfect.
All right, and
let's go back to school.
Yeah, let's go back to school. So as we sit today on the 20th, it's been pretty unanimous across the Upper Peninsula. It doesn't matter if it's with LMAS or anything, where they say that masks are recommended but not required at this point.
Correct.
So how important is that line to you and Superior Central Schools as you guys start the school year?
Yeah, we looked at that recommendation, and we've been meeting with LMAS, Marquette County Health Departments, since the beginning of all this, and we're watching numbers, and so the recommendation right now to wear a mask, we see that as a recommendation with current situation, current transmission rate around our school and our district. We are going with masks are optional, and that's our plan for now. So
what was it like last year? Because obviously students had to get used to wearing a mask. And I don't know, did you guys actually shut down for points where people went online for a couple of weeks? I don't remember.
We shut down the high school when the governor made us shut down the high school.
Right.
That was
but you didn't have like a week or two shut down for deep cleaning, things like that. Because I know Munising had a couple of those where we shut down where my high schooler or my middle schooler was at home for like a week or two at different times.
No. We had a couple times where we had to shut down first grade or fourth grade or second grade, but as a whole school, no. Last year throughout the course of the year, we had 8 positive cases at our school. Working with parents, which was lovely. Like, most of the time the parents called us and said, "Hey, my kid tested positive," before we knew from the health department. So we were able to start contact tracing right away. And so we were able to do that and get those kids home. They would quarantine. To my knowledge, none of the students that we quarantined who were a contact at school ever contracted COVID. So, they were pretty much, this kid picked it up somewhere and didn't spread it in school. So that was huge for us.
Because you're a tight knit school. I mean,
we are
K through 12 is in one building,
and we host the Head Start and the GSRP program for AMCAP. So we have 3-year-olds to 18-year-olds. So
right,
all under one roof. Yeah.
Bill Valima joins us right here, Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, as we talk about Return to Learn Superior Central, and it's a little bit different for Superior Central because you guys actually start before Labor Day. Munising starts after Labor Day.
Yep.
This is kind of the second year you guys have been on a different schedule. So I guess talk about that with Alger County, with you guys going before Labor Day. And I'll only speak to you guys, but why do you guys choose to go before Labor Day?
We chose that when the state allowed us to start again before Labor Day. We take that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You kind of get that gradual flow back into the school year, then a long weekend, and then you come back for 4 days and then 5. And so, we just look at it as we can get those 3 days in. Maybe it allows us to take an extra day before Christmas or somewhere else, a long weekend in the year to still get us out, around June 9th. So we just look at it as just a way to look at the calendar, the schedule, and work kids in early. And
those 2 weeks at Christmas are crucial because, I think it's important to give everybody the time off. And I know back when I was in school, like we used to have the 2 weeks off. And then it was like, hey, you're going to get like 6 or 7 days off. Just depends where Christmas fell.
Right.
But yeah, having those extra days or, the winter break where you get that Friday and Monday off.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
Easter, things like that. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
Now it's different because like I know people that live in Alabama, they've been in school for like a week and they get out like May 29th. I'm like, that's not much different. And you guys start 3 weeks earlier than what you do. Florida, Vegas, same thing. I was like, what's the point of being in school like August 10th when you get out the same time what Michigan does?
It might be what legislated in their state. Like we have to go 180 days.
Right.
180 student days.
Did you guys have a snow day last year?
A snow day?
I don't think Munising did. And if we did, it was during one of our quarantines.
Right. Snow days were the least of my concerns last year. I don't remember, honestly, Casey.
I don't remember either, but we're coming up on that season, because it's a school year, so might as well talk about snow.
Yeah. Should start snowing anytime.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill Valima joins us right here, Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. So obviously things are changing on a daily basis. Are you meeting with for instance, you meet with Marquette Health Department and LMAS.
Correct.
So if, let's say, Marquette decides, too much transmission in our area, does that affect Superior Central at all?
No.
You
We
guys
fall under LMAS.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess, how often do you talk to LMAS? Is this like consume your whole day? Like one day you talk to Marquette, one day you talk to LMAS?
We meet as a group. So the 13 districts in Marquette Elger, and then with Marquette Health Department and with LMAS. So
Okay.
we meet weekly.
Okay.
Or we did during the school year. We met last week. And then I'm sure I've been talking with both Nick and Carrie at the health department a lot this summer and, the last couple of weeks. So it'll continue.
Okay. What are you looking forward to the most with this school year and getting things back off and running with Superior Central?
We've got an exciting school year coming back. Last year we it's COVID.
Right.
We had our industrial tech teacher retire in August. We weren't able to fill that position during the school year, so we lost our industrial tech program for last year. We do have a new industrial tech teacher, Jacob Cogger. He's coming to us. So we'll be able to offer this year 7th grade and 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade industrial tech. We're bringing back our construction trades program. So,
and by the way, that's
looking forward to
super
that.
important in my life, because I think it's really important to have a trade and know how to use like a saw and things like that. So I think it's cool that you guys have that at Superior Central. Also, it's been brought to my attention that you guys still have like 4 teacher openings.
Yeah. We filled a couple in the last 2 days.
Okay.
But we still do need a 3rd grade teacher, and we're still looking for a PE health teacher. As far as teachers go, we're also looking for a virtual mentor high school parapro person. At Superior Central, because we're a little bit smaller, we offer, a couple AP classes in-house, but often kids want to take a class that maybe we can't offer, so we offer that through Michigan Virtual, but we still want a person in the room supervising them. So we're looking to hire somebody to be with those kids for a few hours when we don't have coverage for them, and then maybe push into some of the classes to add some help. So, so we need that, and we always need substitute teachers, substitute parapros, substitute bus drivers. There's a shortage of teachers, shortage of subs all the way around.
When there's a shortage, how much has the staff adapted to maybe someone teaching during their prep hour and taking over a class? Because that's what you have to revert to, I'm assuming.
Yeah, our staff's really great about that, and we haven't. If there's a teacher out because they're sick and there's a sub shortage, like we cover that way. We haven't gone into a school year looking like this, where it's like, am I teaching a few hours of PE this year?
Right.
But I'm hoping somebody out there listening or watching would like to come and teach PE. And if you have a bachelor's degree, talk to me. We can get you as a long-term sub, maybe get you certified. So.
Bill Valima joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO from the Jamadot Studios inside Gallery Coffee Company. This portion of Coffee with Casey brought to you in part by Miners Falls Mini Golf. They are open at noon daily. They do have different hours coming up next week where they're going to be open noon to 9 and noon to 10, depending on what day. But they are open at noon daily, and that's the most important thing I want to get out there right now, open at noon daily. Heidi Swajan says Superior Central staff is awesome. Dave Seacott says happy Friday from Brownsburg, Indiana.
Wow.
Yes.
Happy Friday to you as well.
Absolutely. I do want to talk about this a little bit, because when I was growing up, it was everyone wanted to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an overflow of teachers where some of my friends that graduated high school and, we played sports together with, and around the same time we graduated, they ended up going to like California and Colorado because there were 0 teaching jobs here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah.
What has caused the downturn, I guess, in your opinion, from teaching? Because now there's a huge shortage, which, 10 years ago we didn't have.
No.
And now.
But 10 years ago we saw it coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. You look at,
and you've been an educator, not just at Superior Central, but other school districts as well.
Yeah. I started in Ishpeming. I student taught in Ishpeming 2000. Taught a couple years there. Went to Lance for 8 years. Taught Lance. Came to Superior Central 11 years ago now. Started at Superior Central as assistant principal, athletic director, and then just progressed now into this 612 principal and superintendent role. But no, going back to we saw this shortage coming, and then kind of legislatively and through the executive branch. I mean, we saw just issues where, back in the day, teachers they had this full pension and they had, full insurance and maybe not as big of a salary, but you knew that you were going to have insurance. You knew there'd be a pension at the end. And those things have changed in the last 10 years. So I think that's a big part of it. I mean,
but you get 3 months off in the summer.
Yeah.
I love how you laugh at that.
You step into any school anytime during the summer, you'll find teachers there. It was funny last night. My parents live out in Gwynn, have a camp on Big Shag. We were out there last night. I came home, went by Gilbert at about 9:47. There were 2 lights on still. Windows open, 2 lights. I mean, that's what time of the year it is right now. Teachers are dedicated.
Right.
And it's the same thing. Like, I know we have teachers in the building. Summer 6 o'clock, when maybe their kids are still asleep, get over, get some work in. They're there 6 in the morning. They're there after their kids go to bed. So
Bobby Iott says Mr. Valima rocks.
She's not. Bobby Iott, thank you.
Is she wrong?
No.
No, but you're absolutely right. I mean, teachers are dedicated. I mean, obviously we know a lot of teachers that buy supplies for their classrooms and they hand out pencils and things like that. So no, you're absolutely right. And people are always, you teachers, you get like the summers off and you get the 2 weeks
breaks
vacation,
off, the weekends. And
I want to be I want to be a teacher.
Hey, listen, man, if you feel that way, and if you want to teach 3rd grade
or PE
and health, if you want to sub, come on in.
Okay. Well, I can't.
No, I know you can't.
Got this show on Fridays.
Yeah. Well, we could give you Fridays off.
We'll talk about my contract in just a little bit. All right. Bill, anything else you'd like to talk about before we get you out of here?
No, I just I am looking forward to this year. I know you guys are QXO's coming out to do some volleyball and some football games. I think it's the first time that we've ever had a volleyball game on the radio. So thank you for that. And maybe I'm
for a season,
yes,
because we did do some last year with Munising and Superior Central when you guys had the pink game, the pink out. But yeah, this is going to be more consistent. And the one thing I think Bill and I have realized, and with all of our conversations, I've always told you, and I meant it, and I know I meant it. I said, if there's a way to get Superior Central on the air, we will.
Yeah, and you have.
And we did it 3 out of the 5 football games last year. There were a couple conflicting ones where we couldn't do it, but we had 3 of the 5 last year. We're going to have 7 of the 9 this year.
Yep.
And then we're going to have more volleyball on the air as well. So I've always said, if there's a way to get Superior Central on the air, we will. And I'm super proud to have that part of Elgin County get on board with us and really support Superior Central Athletics. So, Bill, thank you for always coming on Coffee with Casey. We're going to take our final time out, finish Coffee with Casey right after this.
All you need is love and a walking taco from Tacopotamus. Javier is on a mission to fill up your belly and your heart with a giant bag of Doritos or Fritos filled with fresh ingredients, including beef, 3 different cheeses, lettuce, cilantro, jalapenos, pico, and sour cream, all totally customizable. The perfect on-the-go food. Walk away with a walking taco from Tacopotamus today. And remember, all you need is love and walking tacos.
When it's time for you to tackle a home project, you go to 41 Lumber, because 41 Lumber has the best products so your projects will last. Every kind of home project, you name it, 41 Lumber has it. And 41 Lumber has the experience to help you with any questions you have along the way. 41 Lumber even offers complete home and project design services. Your projects start at 41 Lumber with better products for better results. 41 Lumber, building your dreams one project at a time.
As you're on your way out of town this camping season, make sure to stop at Hillside Party Store East. We have all your camping gear. We also sell live bait, fire starters, and boiled peanuts. Hillside Party Store East is also your home for Case Country Farms, including bacons, brats, brat dogs, breakfast sausage, chorizo, Italian, pork chops, pork steaks, and ham steaks. Hillside Party Store East, located between Connors and Hilltop Road.
As things slowly get back to normal in the Upper Peninsula, the employees at Embers Credit Union are here, ready to serve you. Our frontline staff is ready to safely handle cash and checks and answer questions you have about your account. Our loan team is ready to help out with new or existing loans in person, on the phone, or through email. Our commercial team is ready to assist you with your business loan and the Payment Protection Program. We are always ready to take members to the next level. We're Embers Credit Union. Let's live it up.
Picture this, coming home after a long day of work to a professionally laid, personalized tile shower with rainfall shower heads. Does this sound like something you could get used to? Flynn's Flooring in Wetmore carries much more than the beautiful flooring you've come to expect from this family-owned and operated company. A full-service company that specializes in ceramic tile as well as other floor coverings. The team at Flynn's Flooring is waiting for you to stop in to their showroom in Wetmore or call 906-387-1993.
Back on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, finishing off today. Got about a minute and a half left or so right here on AM 1400 and 97.7. Now, if you're listening to us on Saturday, this isn't going to apply to you, but you have the Friday Night Fish Fry at Picture Rocks Golf Course that takes place on Friday. Something that will apply to you, though, on this Saturday, if you're listening on Saturday, is the Veterans Golf Tournament taking place at Picture Rocks Golf Course. Go support what they do and maybe win a couple of prizes, raffles, things like that. But go to Picture Rocks Golf Course and support the Veterans Golf Tournament. Also, if you're listening on Friday, the Munising scrimmage starts in about a minute, and then the Superior Central one started about 59 minutes ago. So that's taking place on one of the hottest days of the year. As always, I'd like to thank Bill Valima, Superintendent of Superior Central Schools. I also like to thank Hutchins and James Larsen for coming on from the Marquette Monthly, and Bryce Birch for stepping in talking about National Radio Day. You've been watching and listening to Coffee with Casey on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, Munising.